This presentation will highlight the Secretary's role. I wanted to group the Secretary's role into three broad categories. First, the Secretary takes care of correspondence between the members, Toastmasters International, and visitors. The second category would be that the Secretary keeps all the records of the club. And finally, the Secretary as a leader. We will cover each category separately. As a Secretary, you are responsible for writing and mailing all correspondence on behalf of the club. You should have a supply of club stationery for that purpose. And you should keep a file of all correspondence and make it available to members upon request. Occasionally, your club will need to order supplies, such as forms, manuals, ribbons, programs, what have you. And you are responsible for preparing and sending these to World Headquarters. You also do a lot of recording of minutes, and in many clubs, they read the minutes during the business section of each meeting. Your minutes should include the name of the group, the type of meeting, the place, the date and time of the meeting, the names of people who are present, and a quorum count and name of the presiding officer. For a club, the quorum is a majority of active members, and for an executive committee, it is a majority of the officers. You present correction and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, the exact wordings of any motions, the name of the mover, the name of the seconder, and whether the motion was passed or defeated. You record the exact wording of a committee assignment, including any power to act, the date due, and the names of the committee chair and members. You record any main points made during debates. And you end each minute with your signature and the date. Accurate membership. Accurate membership records ensure that all members receive important materials and that they are eligible for educational awards and speech contests. It also serves as a historical document. Your club meeting attendance records help the Vice President of Membership follow up on members who are frequently absent. You maintain new members' information, which should be mailed, faxed, or submitted online to World Headquarters. If you delay in submitting these new applications, then new members may not be eligible for contest or educational awards, so be sure to do this promptly. When there's a change of address for a member or an officer, be sure to include the previous address, new address, and club and district numbers. You may all be aware that you could now submit reports, applications at the Toastmasters website online. Twice each year in October and April, your club is required to send a list of its members and dues. World Headquarters sends a dues renewal reminder to your club presidents in early September and early March, and that is due on or before October 1st and April 1st. Your club receives credit in the Distinguished Club Program if the dues are paid by October 10th and April 10th. In order to keep your club charter in good standing, your club must maintain 6 members, at least three of whom should have been members during the last renewal period. When you submit your renewal dues online or through mail, do not include any new members who've joined after the start of the dues period in October 1st or April 1st. You should submit their membership application separately. If you include those with your dues renewal, then you could delay the processing of the application. If there are any dual members in your club, they need to pay international dues to each club. Any officer lists you submit online are due June 30th and December 31st. So June 30th for both clubs that do an annual officers and semi-annual officers, and then December 31st for semi-annual officers. If it's mailed through regular mail, then it needs to be received by World Headquarters by midnight of June 30th and December 31st. Only clubs that meet weekly are eligible to have officers semi-annually. The annual term is July 1st to June 30th, and the semi-annual terms are July 1st to December 31st and January 1st through June 30th. In order to hold office, a person must be an active member in good standing. That means they've paid their dues on time. And the club must have at least 3 officers, the president, the vice president, and the secretary or a combined secretary-treasurer. But these 3 offices must be held by 3 different people. Also note that your club president cannot serve more than 12 consecutive months. Let us now look at how long to keep all these files you maintain. Some files need to be maintained or stored permanently, and others within a period of time. After a period of time, they can be discarded. For example, minutes of all meetings, including attendance, these should be kept forever. Your club important documents like your club constitution, bylaws, charter documents, certificates, any legal correspondence or important matters, and club rosters. World Headquarters only keeps current membership information, but as a club, you may want to keep a list of all members for historical reasons. Now, which items can be discarded after a period of time? After 7 years, you can discard canceled checks, any financial statements, journals, audits, your club minutes, and attendance records. After 3 years, you can discard any internal reports, like your officer and committee reports and any routine correspondence. And after 1 year, you can get rid of your distinguished club program reports if you print those out and store them. As a secretary, you are one of the leaders of the club, so you have additional responsibilities. You should attend club and executive meetings and record the proceedings. You are a leader, and as a leader, you should set goals, plan how to accomplish them, monitor their progress, and recognize achievement. A good leader cares about his work and his team members. A good leader is enthusiastic, dedicated, attentive, and encouraging. As a club officer, you should not be afraid to delegate authority to members in order to accomplish your objectives. Delegation is transferring responsibility from one person to another and empowering that person to accomplish a specific goal. I'd like to share a few steps of delegation. This will help build a strong team so you can accomplish more and opportunities for members to gain leadership experience. So the first is that you should determine what should be delegated. Find someone to delegate to. Of course, the person must want to and agree to do the task. You must make sure the person has the tools necessary to perform the task and give them the authority to make decisions. Finally, hold them accountable by giving reports at different times and setting timelines. Occasionally, a team member may demonstrate a need for guidance. As a secretary, you can help by coaching that member and providing opportunities to improve and build new skills. As a leader, you can help your team improve by following these steps for successful coaching. Both you and the team member should agree that there is a problem that needs to be addressed or solved. You should talk about possible solutions to the problem. You should give suggestions on behaviors that may be necessary to produce the desired results or accomplish goals. You should develop a plan and a timeline for carrying it out. It isn't enough to simply point someone in the right direction. As a leader, you must stay in contact with the person to help ensure they stay on task. Finally, a leader is a motivator. I'd like to share a few steps for motivating. First, it's important to learn what the person's goals and objectives are, personally and within Toastmasters. You want to show them how their participation will help them accomplish those personal goals and all those Toastmasters goals. You help them set some milestones for achieving those goals. But most important of all, you say thank you. You recognize their work. You want to be enthusiastic about what they've done. And you want to praise them for their successes. So these are the roles the secretary needs to be able to do. Manage your correspondence. You record report minutes. You submit paperwork to TI. You submit officers' lists. And then you communicate with members or whomever the club needs you to communicate with. You maintain an efficient filing system of all important records and financial statements. And you lead by example. You delegate, you coach, and you motivate. I've included some resources that I think will be helpful. The first one is an example of a form that can be used in recording minutes. This form came out of your officer manual book, but you can edit it as you see fit to suit your club. But one thing I want to point out about having a form is that if you are not able to attend a meeting, you should ask someone to fill in for you. And being able to hand them this form helps make sure you receive all the information you need and in a consistent format. So I highly recommend having a form for your minutes. Also, take good attendance records of your members and guests. I've included here resources from the Toastmasters website that you could use in being a successful officer. And all of these are here and also at the back of your manual. The following few slides are the calendar checklist for each month of the year and your role as a secretary. What should be happening in your club, what you could be doing as a secretary to help make sure that your club is functioning efficiently. And what you see here for July, I have listed repeats each month because some of the items are the same from month to month. And rather than duplicate them in subsequent months, I have just put here repeats each month so that as you go through this presentation and look at each month, you see something that says repeats each month, you know that it's something that should be ongoing, that you should have done at the beginning of the month or the previous month, and that it repeats each month to help make sure that things are happening. You will also see some items with dates, like, for example, September has an October 1st deadline for dues, and knowing these dates will help make sure that when you meet as a committee or give you the information you need to check with the other officers to help make sure that these items are on time, are being submitted on time, and your club is meeting those goals. Serving as a secretary is an opportunity to learn and practice communication, organization, and leadership skills, as well as supporting new members educating them as leaders, and contributing to the success of the club as a whole. So, as you serve your role as a secretary this year, I wish you a great year. Thank you.